Hello everyone and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 with your host, RIGHTFUL. Hello everyone, welcome back to the video. If you remember if I remember, it's been a couple weeks since I made the last episode that aired, well, the day before I'm doing this recording. But anyway, in the last episode, we bought Field 15. We made a choice between buying a bigger combine unit or buying an extra field. And so I laid on the side of buying an extra field because that would give us more yield with whatever we grow. So that's what we did. That's what I did. That's what we did. I don't know how you want to put it. I mean, you've been with me this long. I mean, hey, come on. So, anyway, so in this episode, we're gonna hopefully get the fields fertilized. We're gonna get fast forward time until the weeds pop up, and then we're going to weed them, and hopefully we'll get a complete harvest out of this. So let's grab her up our tractor here. Oh, and pardon me. Pardon me if you hear me hiccup or belch or kind of cringe a little bit. I ate something that kind of didn't agree with my stomach, and yeah, it's telling me off. So, all right, so here we go. Let's start up a tractor. We got to get out and disconnect, and let's grab up our. Oh no, I didn't want to connect that. Didn't realize it was connected. Or there we go. Now it's disconnected. Didn't realize it was disconnected. There we go. Alright, so I'm back up here. I'm gonna get this connected. Oh, that's the wrong button to connect. Go. PTO connected. Alright, let's go spray fields. Oh, that's nice, the labeling. That is nice. Look at that down there. It actually says, I don't know if you can see it, but down there on the next to the wheel, it actually says liquid fertilizer and how much of a percentage we have in the tanks. So unfortunately, I don't think we have enough liquid fertilizer to do both fields, so we'll probably have to stop in the center and redo it. So let's go ahead and get started here. So while we're doing this, I know probably most of you guys, when this comes up, I will be actually recording a new video game that will probably have uploaded, well, the couple days after this recording, but when you actually see this recording, it'll be the Monday before this recording comes up. So yeah, I'm thinking about, if I haven't done it already, if I haven't recorded it already, but I'm thinking about recording two different games. One is probably going, one or the other is probably going to be either Stormworks Build and Rescue, or another one, Medieval Engineering. Now, for those of you that don't know what Stormworks Build and Rescue is, Stormworks Build and Rescue is a is a C-based video game that deals with building and creating seaworthy vehicles to run missions. It's a mission-based video game, basically, and what you do is you actually build custom-built video games. You build custom-built boats, ships, and things for different different missions and stuff that it gives. Now it has two different things. It's got a very interesting system where you can build, like I said, boats. You can build boat. It's really actually, truthfully, it's actually more. I'm gonna call it more, really truthfully, of a Coast Guard simulator, close to it, rather than just Steamworks Build and Rescue. I mean, that's basically what it's called, is Steamworks Build and Rescue. But I'm going to call it almost up there with a Coast Guard simulation. Just instead of being like a few Coast Guard games that I know of, I can't really remember their names. But instead of being more like, you know, you go in and you do this and you do that and everything type of game, it's one that you can actually pick and choose. It's one that you can actually pick and choose what to do. You can go in, yes, I'm driving on this guy's crop, but I don't care. You can actually go in and you can build your own vehicle. You don't have to use a specific vehicle. You can just go in, build your own vehicle, and you can do the missions that however you see fit. They are time-based missions, but they're relatively spaced out good enough for it. It's got a sleeping system. It's actually had a recent major update. They're calling it the Arctic update, and basically you've got a hot and cold system that you have to contend with in it, with it now. So they've got an Arctic area that if you go up to it, if you go up into the Arctic area, you got to have Arctic gear, and your vehicles have to be equipped with space heaters, or otherwise it gets kind of cold. And the other cool feature that came out was they introduced a few new components to their block system. We're gonna go. We're gonna run down here and fill up while I'm talking to you about this. So anyway, they've added quite a bit of stuff. Well, if you watch, I'll probably have a series on it. I don't know when I will. Really, truthfully, whether it'll be the Monday before this video, or it could be the Monday after. It could actually start the Monday after, because I've got to do some test recording on it and everything, and make sure it's going to just make sure it's going to work properly. Make sure we don't get herbicide. To get up here to the fertilizer. There we go. We might actually invest in the extra tank, since we do have 2 fields now. We might actually invest in a tank Pardon me, people, while I can't see it, but I'm having to adjust my monitor. My monitor has, for some reason, gotten off kilter and is driving me up a wall, so to speak. So, anyway, so yeah, so definitely look forward for that video, that one coming out. The other video game that I was talking about is it's called Medieval Engineers, and it's from the makers of Space Engineers. But what it is it takes place in a medieval era. There's really no actual there's really no one century that it's applied to, but it's actually a very interesting game, and I've played it both base model or base game, and I've also played it with mods, and some of the mods for it are actually pretty interesting. It has there's two mods out there. There's a Rails mod and there's a Steam Engines mod out there, which is interesting because, as any of you really know, the Steam era really wasn't actually put into play until more the end of the 17th century, beginning of the 18th century. So and then actually really didn't get going until like late 60s, late 70s, or late 1860s, 1870s, and everything. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting game mechanic. It's really interesting when you actually have stuff that you know when the error was when it was actually introduced, and when it was actually really truthfully picked up on. So it makes it kind of an interesting gameplay. Although, as I won't go into full detail with it, but you'll see. I mean, you'll see kind of what I mean whenever I get around to doing the videos. So, I guess this is kind of like a work type channel, kind of like a work and channel update kind of thing. So, alright, so we're done with that. So now what we need to do is we need to increase time by the way of the Wizarding Wonder 8 key. We need to get we need to wait until the weeds pop up, but we can switch over to our herbicide. And I'm just going to go ahead and refill the herbicide because I know we're going to need it. Let's see. Take that bush right here. We'll just drive over the top of this bush. The I key to drop that out. And that's freaking out. Well, if it flies off into space, oh well. Wasn't that much. Alright, let's grab this herbicide. Oh, we have already got weeds popping up here. The weeds are popped up already there. They're probably popped up everywhere. I think I just took out the road sign. Oh well. Didn't need to be there. Yep, I'm going to take out the foundation of this tank if I don't watch it. Alright, let's grab some more herbicide. Alrighty. So, we're getting... Pardon me for the belching. So, technically we are actually starting to get to a point where we can really truthfully crank out a lot of um, money, really. Maybe not quite as much money, maybe not too much money, but we are getting there. Alright, so we're gonna herbicide this up. Now, I'm kind of wondering if maybe I could save just a little bit of money if since now we got since now we got a way to kind of guide us through the field now. I'm wondering if maybe we could, I'm wondering if maybe I switch back to a mechanical weeder and see what the difference is between running herbicide and running that weeder. Now, obviously I'm not, with the herbicide, I'm not, 100%ing the boom. I keep trying, I do try, but sometimes, like down there in the corner, down there on that corner, I kind of missed. Now, before you take and say anything, I know a lot of people are probably going to scream in the comments like, hey, if you use the GPS all the time, you wouldn't do dumb stuff like that. Yeah, well, that problem is that's not my playstyle. I have played way back from 2013. Yes, I said 2013. That was the very first farming simulator I bought. I know that's not the very first farming simulator ever made, but that was the very first farming simulator I bought. And even when the GPS mod was available for the 2013 game, I hardly used it because I learned how wide my machines are. I'm not like everybody else that's like, oh, I'm just going to drive down the thing. No. I am actually a very serious farmer, and if you don't like that type of play, then I hate to say it, but you're at kind of the wrong channel. You're on kind of the wrong channel. And yes, that may hurt a lot of people's feelings, and that may cause me to lose a bunch of subs. You know what? In this day and age, where everything is like, oh, you gotta please, don't look at me, because don't come to my channel and expect that, because I will not baby you. If you want to play with a GPS mod, if you want to watch somebody that plays with a GPS mod, that's your preference. But don't really expect me to take and play that, because I don't play that way. That's like if I see comments about, oh, drive your tractor into the train and see what happens. No, I'm not going to do that. Now, if I'm crossing the railroad tracks and the train decides to be right there, then that's one thing. But I'm not going to purposely drive this tractor down and set it on the tracks to find out what the heck it does. Sorry. Not my cup of tea, and you won't find it on this. And you won't find it anywhere on this channel. So, anyway, with that being said, sorry about the comment rant, but I mean, it is to each his own, and I prefer to do my own. Anyway, we'll get these all done up. We'll have to run fertilizer over them again, and hopefully we'll get rolled over into the morning and hopefully start harvesting before the end of the thing and everything. And, yeah. So, what else do I want to talk about? So, anyway. Yeah, really, truthfully, not much else to really take and talk about. And the only problem is I don't have. You know what? That's a good thing that we could talk about while we're working on getting all this done. Um, I would love to have any suggestions of video editing software. Now, before you get into, oh, he's going to be like everybody. No. The only reason why I would like the video editing software is it's like right now. I'm really truthfully drawing a blank except for talking about, you know, video editing software. Um, so the only reason why I'm looking into it is I'm, I want, I would like to take and make like longer, maybe not necessarily longer episodes, but I'd like to be able to, you know, maybe time lapse some of this stuff. Like maybe time lapse, like have an episode and then I can go into another, you know, recording session, you know, without my voice, without anything except for maybe audio from the game. But be able to time lapse it in such a way that, you know, you can see what's going on. Like maybe I can start each episode out with the time lapse of what I've done in between episodes. You know, how, you know, because a lot of this stuff looks like right now, I mean, we're getting right now in such a way that, you know, taking care of 2 fields is almost a full episode. And everything. And I know with my slow pace driving and stuff, it doesn't help, but, it's like, you know, I know you guys want to get into the nitty gritty of like harvesting and watching me drive some odd miles away and dump it and get the green. Or be like taking care of the chickens, or, you know, we'll take care of getting animals and stuff. But seeing a lot of people do field work and stuff and everything. I'm gonna flip around just because I don't like leaving those little patches right there. We're gonna hit those. Just a little bit of spray. Alright, there we go. We gotta go change now to the fertilizer. But anyway, just odds and ends like that. Ooh, that was a little hair raising. You know. And just have it in such a way that, you know, I could take and record, you know, record everything I do and stuff, and then be able to condense it down into a better, or maybe not a better video, but at least condense it down into like maybe a short, you know, 5-10 minute show. Okay, settle down there, buddy. I think it spawned partially into the ground. I think that's why it was jigging up and down, doing the herky jerky. And you know, it's kind of like right now. I mean, I really, truthfully, could probably have condensed this down. Oops, wrong button. Into a lot smaller segment. And everything. But so, but anyway, so this and the criteria that I want for this is I want a complete buy, and what I mean by complete buy is I don't want a monthly subscription. I really think that is truthfully stupid to have to pay a monthly fee to use the software. So that's out of the question. I'm gonna say hard copy is preferred, but digital download will suffice. I know there's a lot of you going, what do you mean by hard copy? And I mean one that you can buy on a disc and use it multiple times, not just once. That's what I mean. And the other thing would be is, and this is actually probably the better one, ease of use. I mean, I would like it to have just, kind of some advanced stuff, like being able to put slides in, be able to put overlays on and everything with. But I would like it in such a way that it's easily done, not like I have to search YouTube or go through a giant manual or anything like that to figure out what everything means and what it all is. I'd like it in such a way that it's like almost like cut and paste, easy. So anyway, so if anybody knows of a software that's, and I guess my other criteria is reasonable. I would gladly pay. I'd gladly pay up to probably $100, maybe slightly over, just slightly. But I'd gladly pay up to $100 for it. But nothing over, not too much over $100. Because I mean, I'm a poor man. I'm not rich like everybody else. I'm just a poor, simple country poke that's, trying to make a living off of literally dirt. So, alright folks. Unfortunately, that's the end of this episode. We didn't get to the desired being able to harvest. Of course, then again, that doesn't help because it doesn't help that I'm not, I'm not trucking along at, 16, 17 miles an hour like everybody else is. I actually am trying to play as realistic as possible. But anyway, folks, shut down the tractor here so it's a little quieter. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully in the next episode we'll get time rolled forward and we'll start work on harvesting these 2 fields. Yeah, and hopefully get a profit out of it. A really good profit would be nice too. Anyway, I'm HardTruck1. This is Farming Simulator 19, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.